All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Ballin. I am your host, Mike Small, and the star of the show, Dylan Davis, is the other host right over here. And I'll tell you what, welcome to your 40-minute therapy session. There's no reason to call a psychiatrist. There's no reason to take Prozac. Just sit down and listen to us complain about the Phillies for the next 40 minutes, and you'll feel a lot better about your life, about everything. Dylan, how are you today, my man?
I had a big smile on my face after the introduction, Mike. So thank you. But I'm not as chipper. I'm not as happy as the look on my face would say. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly all combined into one show. And yeah, it's just going to be a big group therapy session. So whoever's watching, you guys can comment along with us, throw out your questions, complain, bitch, moan, whatever you want to do. I'm sure me and Mike will be doing the same. So.
Yeah, that's very possible. All right, so here's what pisses me off. We can get it. We're going to get into the fact that, they don't have a center fielder that can hit over 100. We're going to get into the fact that the bullpen sucks. We're going to get into the fact that the fourth and fifth starters are useless. We're going to get into the fact that, Andrew McCutchen is washed. We're going to get into all that stuff. But here's the thing that pisses me off. There's nothing that surprises me about this, meaning I knew going into the season they had two really good pitchers and one they were hoping was going to be okay in Zach Eflin. I knew that they had a first baseman that was pretty good, probably going to bounce back. They have a couple of guys in the middle of the infield that are solid. They re-signed Didi, nice. Spent a lot of money on the catcher. Okay, makes sense. The right fielder's a stud. I knew that the left fielder was a question mark coming off injury and being an old 34. The third baseman, I still have a lot of hope for and I'm excited about. And I knew that the bullpen was just, okay, let's throw this one in this here. Yeah, that sounds good. He throws 95. Does he know where it's going? No freaking idea. What about, okay, let's shake it up. See what we got. This is not a surprise to me. This is not a surprise to me. And you know what I did, Dylan? I'm sorry. I'm going a little crazy here.
No, I love it.
Before you and I got on camera, I Googled, you know what? What could they have done? So I Googled a list of all the free agent pitchers that as they were coming off the board, and I knew that, John Middleton hadn't sold enough cigars in the pandemic, which, by the way, I've been trying to help him. I smoke a lot of cigars during the week. I do. That's my thing. But as each one was coming off the board, and I was saying, that would have helped. That would have helped. And then I see Matt Moore, Chase Anderson. Let's re-sign Vince Velasquez. I can't think anything to do with $2 million. This is not a surprise. I knew this was going to happen. They can't win on the road. They're a pretty good team at home. But none of these things are a surprise. The problem is you're wasting Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto's prime. You're wasting Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler because they haven't filled in the roster. Because Matt Klentak could not build a minor league system. Because Dave Dombrowski was handed a team and said, you know what? Go to the dollar store, see what you can figure out. That's why this isn't a surprise. Now, I'm going to take a shot and hand it over to you.
Look, man, so before I get into my main takeaway, you read off, we're going to get to center field. We're going to get to Andrew McCutchen. We're going to get to, I have four things written down here that are what is holding this team back. You listed all four of those things, and it's glaringly obvious. It's literally the fourth and fifth starters, center field, leadoff. I didn't say McCutchen. I just said leadoff. And bullpen, but I said bullpen injuries because I do think they miss Archie Bradley, and I know he doesn't have a ton of control, but I think they miss Alvarado. I'm not that worried about the bullpen as a whole. I know Coonrod started off hot, and then he got torched against the Giants. I know Kinsler had a rough outing not too long ago. And like I said, they're battling some injury, so I'm not that worried. That's like low.
Brogdon's come back to earth.
Yeah, that's like really low on my totem pole for what's worrying me. But you hit it on the last thing. We don't deserve Bryce Harper. Like currently constructed, we don't deserve Bryce Harper. And you're literally seeing this man try to will a baseball team to a victory. You saw it in San Fran when he literally hit the game tying home run in the 8th inning, I believe. And he's screaming like, let's effing go. Like he's trying. Today, what's he do, Mike? He gives you a 2-0 lead in 2 at-bats by himself, and he throws out a runner in the 3rd inning from deep right field. Very next inning, the game's out of reach. He's just got to be throwing his arms up in the air like, dude, I physically can't do anymore. I don't know what else to do.
How often do you spend $335 million and it's a pretty good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a real good thing. I mean, he's been a great, he's been great with the fans. He's been great for the city. He hustles every day, says and does all the right things. Let me ask you a question, Dylan.
Yeah, go ahead.
How long have you been in Major League Baseball executive?
Never.
Right. I'm 54 years old. Ask me how many years of Major League executive and scouting experience I have.
How many years, Mike?
I have none. Why the frick do we know everything that's wrong with this team? And these idiots that get paid all this money can't figure it out. John Middleton, you cheap ass. Write a damn check. Stupid money. Stupid money. I'll argue stupid money. Stupid money is re-signing Vince Velasquez. Stupid money is not getting a center fielder. Stupid money is this bullpen. Jesus.
I know you're not an Eagles fan, but I would love to have a poll of what was the most idiotic statement in this city's history in the last 2 years. And that is stupid money versus quarterback factory. And I want to see which one wins because they're both really, really dumb. And Ty.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can play rock, paper, scissors and determine who's.
It is draft week, so I'll get into that this week. But yeah, let's just get into the issues because, like I said, this is going to be a huge complaining session, even though the Phillies are 1 game out of first place because the rest of the division isn't playing well either. But Ty says, when is Howard getting moved to the rotation? He deserves a shot over what we've gotten from the 4-5 in the rotation.
I don't think it's that. I don't think that they're afraid to put him in. I think he's just still recovering and needs to stretch out. I don't think he can throw more than a couple innings, but I think he'll be there real soon.
He needs
to send Matt Moore back for his sushi and back to Japan.
I was so hopeful. I'm not going to lie. I tried to talk myself into it. Well, they can't be worse than what you had last year. And if they can just eat innings and be serviceable. And you know what? Chase Anderson was serviceable in that he kept you in games in the first 2 to 3 starts. He only gave up 2 runs, 3 runs, 2 runs.
He's a 4-inning guy. Has he gone more than 5 innings?
No, he hasn't gone past 5.
Get nervous and yank him after 4 every time.
He can't get past 5. And then what happens today? Now, I don't know who was available, who wasn't. Why the hell did David Hale get the call after Chase Anderson was struggling like that? David Hale. He's like the one remaining piece that sticks with me through that awful, dreadful bullpen of last year. He's that one guy that comes, I know Neris was here last year, but I like Neris.
I on the team last year?
He came over from the Yankees right around at the deadline when we traded with Boston for the 2 relievers as well.
You know what? I'm getting him mixed up with David Phelps, but it doesn't matter. They're both terrible.
So that's terrible. The 4 and 5 starters are killing you because, in a sense, it's okay. You got 3 starts. Okay, we're in every game. You get to 4 and 5. You're not even in the game right now. These dudes are going 3 to 4 innings.
Yeah,
3 to 4 innings. But Matt Moore at home just threw 2 1/3 or something like that last weekend.
All right, we know that Matt Moore sucks. I can live with Chase Anderson for a little while. I mean, at least he's competitive.
Yeah.
They just take him out early when he gets in trouble. They have no confidence in him, obviously. I'm anxious for Spencer Howard. Spencer Howard's up in the, throwing 95, 96 all of a sudden. I'm anxious to see him out there a little bit more. All right, let's take this thing apart. Zach Wheeler's been great. Aaron Nola's been great for the most part. Zach Eflin's been everything you could want out of him. So if you can get Spencer Howard eventually into that number 4 spot and live with Anderson, okay, fine. The bullpen, Hector, if they make the playoffs, which is, obviously a monster if, you really feel good about Hector Neris nailing down a playoff game in the ninth inning? I do not.
No.
Now, to get to the ninth inning, do you really feel good about Archie Bradley and Alvarado holding it down in the seventh and eighth?
I think I'm okay, and I'll tell you why. The only reason I'm giving the bullpen some leniency here is the fact that over the course of the first week and a half of the season, and how well they were performing, how much we were backing up this bullpen and shocked, and we were like, oh, we have something. And then they've had a rough stretch over the last week or so. I don't want to get too low. Like, we got so high with the success they were having. I don't want to get too low.
Well, our bar set pretty low. When you talk about the success that we're having, the bar set really low.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. I mean, I don't think the bullpen is the worst part of the team right now.
No.
The worst part of the team, honestly, is the outfield.
Yep.
I mean, cut out right field, center and left are a disaster. And to your point, it's not McCutchen, it's leadoff. So it's McCutchen / leadoff that's a disaster. Hoskins has rediscovered his swing. It looks like he's, getting out of Gabe Kapler's head with his launch angle and trying to pull everything. It looks like Hoskins is coming around, which is really exciting. So what do? I mean, how much longer? How much more of a rope do you give McCutchen?
That's the tough thing. Or my counter to that would be, how much more of a rope do you give Kutch in the one hole? Maybe you don't pull him out of left field, but does he slide to 7 or 8? Because you see that's my biggest issue. My biggest
or Didi leading off. Why not?
My biggest issue is the bottom of it's the bottom of the rotation, but it's the bottom of this order too. You get nothing, Mike, out of the bottom of this order. It's a waste. It's 3 quick outs, and it's specifically center field. So you said a word earlier talking about Chase Anderson. You said competitive. At least he's competitive. You're right.
Yeah.
You know who's not competitive, Mike, in the batter's box? Roman Quinn. It's not competitive. You know who's not competitive in the batter's box? I can't stand it.
You hate Roman Quinn. I love it.
I can't stand it. And I know Mickey Moniak. I know he hit a 3-run home run the other day. Right,
it was a hanging delay. Let's slow down a little bit.
Whatever. He's batting .095. Mike, he's not competitive in the box either. Center field is an absolute disaster, but it's not just center. It's the bottom of the order. Once you get past Didi. Now, my question to you is, can Nick Maton play center field? Because if he can, throw him the hell out there.
Now, that's the guy that's competitive.
He's batting over 400.
He's like the 20th. I think I looked it up. He's the 18th prospect on the Phillies list. And, he's catching lightning in a bottle. Are we going to count on him?
Or maybe you actually have something.
Maybe.
They tout and they just keep throwing Roman Quinn in my face. They keep throwing Mickey Moniak in my face. They brought up Scott Kingery when COVID hit. It's like when they keep throwing Vince Velasquez in my face. I can't take it anymore. Start fresh in center field. Stop with the project that has been failing for year after year now. And I don't want to hear, Moniak's still young. He's not competitive in the damn box. I watched this kid the other day come up. He swung at 3 balls outside of the zone. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, throw my helmet, walk back and grab some pine. It was the most uncompetitive at-bat I've ever seen in my entire life watching a baseball game. And I'm really not even joking about that. It was really, really poor. Center field's combining for a 101 batting average. Okay.
Which is less than the pitchers, by the way.
Yes. So, but when you think about it this way, you get past Didi or Gene, whoever's in that order, you're down to, now don't get me wrong, he's been on fire, but you're right. Nick Maton, whoever's in center field, pitcher spot. You got nothing. And then you wrap it back around the Kutch, who's batting like 160. You have nothing there. The middle of your order is awesome right now. I know Boehm's only batting like 225. I love Alec Boehm. I think he'll be fine. He's hit a couple moonshots this year. Reese has figured it back out, it seems like. Bryce is being Bryce and even beyond. JT's fine. Didi's been good. Gene Segura's batting over like 320, 330. He's been fine. It's outside of that. And
You know
it's
what
kind it's
we
kind
need
of just
Scott Kingery to come up and play center, and hopefully he's got his swing back.
there's no way in hell. Did you see his numbers in at the alternate site?
I did.
Before he was called up, he was 1 for 22 with 12 Ks
I don't
at
know
the
how they ruined him.
alternate site.
I don't know how they ruined him. He
So
really looked like he was going to be something.
I do want to have a conversation with you because I've been having this conversation with on my show, The Daily Dose. A lot of it's in our Discord.
Why don't you plug the Daily Dose? That's a great show, man. Tell everybody when they hear the Daily Dose on every day at 4.
Yep, right? Monday through Thursday, some Fridays. Monday, tomorrow to be back on at 4, right wherever you're watching us now, or on TPL's Twitter, or Twitch.
Get you plugged, man. It's a good
Thank
show.
You.
You're crushing it.
This is something that I wanted to just throw at you because I know your stance, and I've been talking to a lot of people who feel the complete opposite of that, and that is this: average Joe Girardi. Good night. Mark is not the biggest advocate of Joe Girardi, and I gotta say, man.
You know I love Joe Girardi.
You do, and I really like Joey G. But I've been on record with you saying a lot of times, if Captain Coconut Oil made some of the decisions I've seen Joe Girardi make, he'd be on the first flight out of Philadelphia paid by Philly fans.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so he's not having a great year.
No.
But I still trust him. And
I do too.
I do. But man,
well, basically, this is what I want to throw to you.
What's he supposed to do?
Right. So this is what I wanted to ask you.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah. So my question about this was: we just played the blame game with starters, bullpens, and field, all that stuff. How much of this 10-11 start is on him? Has there been a game to your eye that it's like, if he pulled someone too early, if he left someone in too late, because he has been leaving guys out there a little too long, and that's one at bat, one swing, you're out of the game because he's left them in there too long. Have you seen any of that where it's like, this one's on Joe?
You know, I've just seen a couple of. I'm not sure I can point to a particular game, and if I'm sure there is one, then someone's going to write, what about this game? I don't remember, but what I will say is there are times I'm watching the game and. They're up by a run. They haven't been hitting, and there's men on first and second with nobody out. Can we bunt? Can we try to play for a couple of runs because we haven't been very clutch and the team's hitting 245? Can we maybe try to create something? Some of the different decisions when he gives a green light, like Roman Quinn the other day, that made no sense to me. Took him right out of the game. I can't. I'm not going to comment on the bullpen decisions when to put one in. I have no idea. I know that Connor Brogdon has been good and now he sucks. I know that David Hale always sucks. I don't know what he's supposed to do. You can't pitch the same guy every time. I don't love Hector Neris as my closer. I know that one of his things that he's very famous for and good at, or had been good at, is establishing bullpen roles.
And that's the one thing I want to say.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen him establish roles within his bullpen outside of Hector Neris being the named starter or closer so far.
I think he was getting there before the Archie Bradley and Alvarado went out. I think you had Archie Bradley for the 7th, Alvarado for the 8th, Hector for the 9th. Brogdon was doing well for Brogdon and Coonrod were the 5th and 6th. And then
Kinsler was fine.
Long relief. I mean, it was getting there, and it still may get back there.
I'm going to have faith in it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to have faith in. I'm going to try to keep faith in this bullpen a little while longer until I continue to get burnt. So,
what's he supposed to do about a guy making all that money playing left field, hitting his weight? What's he supposed to do when, what are you going to do? Bringing up Odubel Herrera? I mean, what are you supposed to do with center field? I mean, maybe guy was an all-star, but is it worth it? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, this is the land.
My whole issue with the Odubel thing is if we're talking, if you're not going to bring him up because it is that PR nightmare or he's a bad person, whatever.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just cut him? What's he sitting at the alternate site for if he can't come up because of the PR nightmare?
Look, I'm not a big fan of cancel culture. All right. I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of somebody makes a mistake. They're dead to me. I'm not. And what Odubel Herrera did was a terrible, terrible thing. I've got 3 daughters. I've been married for 26 years. Respect to women is incredibly important to me. But the guy's been through counseling. He and I guess it's his wife or his girlfriend, are on great terms. She's forgiven him. Maybe he does get, who are we to say he doesn't get another shot?
Right. And if you don't want him to get another shot in Philly, like if you're that person, that's fine. He can have a second chance, but not here, not with our team. Okay, fine. Then why is he at the alternate site? That's the part that I'm not understanding. If this was such a nightmare where they're like, oh man, I really don't want to do it, you should have just cut him. Now you have him lingering there and you're seeing, and it's just sticking out like such more of a sore thumb because of the struggles in center field now. And it's like, oh, he could give you that. Like he could give you more than that.
I've got to think he's going to get a shot soon. I mean, what else can you do at this point? I mean, you got to give Moniak maybe another week. You brought him up. He's your top draft pick, one of the biggest disasters in draft history. We're about to do the NFL draft on Thursday. I mean, I challenge you to find, an NFL draft pick worse than Mickey Moniak. Todd Marinovich, Ryan Leaf. No, what am I saying? Todd Marinovich. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. Ryan Leaf, some of these all-time busts. Ryan Mallett, some of these total stiffs. Mickey Moniak's right freaking up there, and he has sucked.
Where was Terrell Pryor picked?
What's that?
Terrell Pryor was picked really high, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a late first-round pick, I think.
Was he?
I don't remember. I think so. But I give him another week. You got nothing to lose at this point. And if he still looks overmatched and embarrassing, then maybe it's time to bring Odubel Herrera back up.
Roman Quinn needs to be teaching base running for a high school team. Jamarcus Russell, that's it, Ty. Thank you.
I was at his first ever game. I used to live in California. And I was
Terrell Pryor. They just turned him into a wide receiver like 4 years.
Yeah, he wasn't awful. But Jamarcus, he was. He. I saw his first
Raiders, right?
With the Raiders. Yeah, people were so excited, and he was so bad.
So bad. All right, man. So let's get back to this.
Do we have to? Do you want to talk about something else? You want to talk about the NFL draft?
Yeah, I'd kind of love to.
Yeah.
What positives can you take away from this? Because
okay, I can do that. Saturday night was really fun. Rhys Hoskins with 2 very, very clutch home runs, center field and opposite field. Did a great job. Aaron Nola didn't have his stuff and showed you what an ace does. He hangs in there for 7 innings when he's not throwing his best. And that was a really, really cool win. And as of yesterday, they were in first place.
Yeah.
Well, not so much today. So here's the thing. They kind of suck right now. They're really good at home, and they're within a game of first place. There's your positive outlook. How did I do?
That's kind of where I was going. No, but
okay.
I'll take it because, like I said earlier, they're only a game behind New York right now. The rest of the NL East is struggling. The Braves are like 8-11. The Nationals just lost again today.
By the way. I love that the
Braves, yeah.
God, it's so much fun when they do bad.
They just got what? No, they got no hit by Mad Bum today, didn't they?
In 7. They're deciding if it counts in 7 innings, but yeah.
First of all, someone had a great tweet. I think it was a Buster Olney. I forget. Why does every other stat get to count in these 7-inning games, but you're not going to count that stat?
Yeah. So Zach Gallen threw a 1-hitter in 7 innings in the first game. That counts as a 1-hitter. Yeah. But the no-hitter doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay. So let me take Ty's comment here and kind of go off of this, not this one. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's see. Positives: Hoskins, Harper, Realmuto raking. Nola's an ace. Wheeler has been great. Didi has been Didi, which is good. And Maton is 1993 Kevin Stocker. And I'll add a few more. I'll tell you that Gene Segura has been really, really good so far. And I'll tell you that Zach Eflin has impressed me so far, right? So I just gave you 2 more positives. This thing is fixable, Mike. So where I wanted to take this was, is this a year you see Dombrowski, or you want Dombrowski to make moves before the deadline? Like, can you wait
Yes.
for this thing to get to the deadline, or why can't he go out in the next 2 weeks and find a center fielder for trade?
Well, yes, I'm sure if it was available to him,
Right.
he'd be looking
Yeah.
up. But, nobody's really out of it right now. I mean, you got to think there's some teams that know that they're going to suck. But, we're a couple weeks in. Nobody's really out of it. So you have to wait till a team, people still have to sell tickets, right?
Yeah.
So if they start fire sailing in April, that's not going to be good. You're
No,
not going
but
to get
I think
anybody till late May.
he can go out and find some, because my point with that is the issues are glaringly obvious. We just laid out 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Glaringly obvious issues, right? Now, are you going to wait to the deadline when things are going to be, the price might be jacked up a little bit because they know you're looking for this piece? Or do you hit the phones up in the middle of May before everyone
I
gets to that point?
guarantee they're on the phones. There's no doubt in my mind they're on the phones, but nobody's going to, I don't think a lot of teams are going to be willing to make trades right now. And what pisses me off is I really wanted Jackie Bradley Jr. He would have been perfect. He's not great, but man, he's an unbelievable defensive center fielder. He'll hit 250. He'll jack 25 home runs. He would have been perfect in this.
He could have let off too, couldn't he?
Maybe.
I think he could have.
He strikes out a lot, so I don't think he would have let off, but he definitely would have been perfect for this team.
All right. Mike, this is where I kind of, if you have anything else you want to throw out there, but this is kind of where I want to wrap up.
Go ahead.
So these are the issues. How do we fix this? And when I look lineup, Joe's tried to make some changes. Now, what I will say is, like, when the lineup got shut out and the next day where they were like, we need to see lineup changes. And he did, but he gave Reese a day off. He gave Kutch a day off. Gene was hurt, or Didi was hurt, one of them. So it was like a lot of different things. Bamboo Brad was batting 4th or 5th. Joyce was leading off. It was really, really weird. What is your ideal lineup?
Well, let me first come back. Is Segura and Didi and everybody healthy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Answer.
Yes.
I'm leading off with Segura. Hoskins is batting 2nd. 3rd is Harper. 4th is Bohm. 5th is Real Muto. I know that he likes Real Muto 4th, but I like to split between he and Harper. And I think Bohm will get some better pitches if
he's in between them. If
he's in between them, and I think Bohm is really going to break out. I love Bohm. I mean, I know they're pitching to him really well right now, and he's just missing. But man, he's got it. I'm really a big believer. And then, I don't know. Maybe Maton can play center field. I'll give him a shot. Why not?
I think you have to. You absolutely have to.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's see what they have. I mean, is Odubel going to come up? Whatever. So, between left field and center field, there's 7 and 8, and then the pitcher.
So I would go. I think I kind of agree with you. Outside of Gene, I don't see anyone else that I like to lead off.
Yeah. I mean, he's not your classic leadoff hitter.
No.
But he's better. I think he's the best option. Yeah. I don't like when they were leading off with Harper and some of that kind of stuff.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
So what I will say
there's a part of me that says that throws the analytics away, that says, you know what? Let's go Harper 1, Real Muto 2, Hoskins 3, Bohm 4, just so they get as many at bats as possible.
That's true.
There's a part of me that says that too, but I wouldn't do it.
So when I bring up Maton playing center field, and I texted you that as a joke, but this at this point, I don't know if the kid's got any experience in the outfield and center field. He's middle infield right now, but at this point, like, once the infield's healthy, so once Gene and Didi are okay, like, they're good, and your infield is Bohm, Didi, Gene, Reese, JT, and Maton's kind of out of that mix. How can you have a kid now? He might just have lightning in a bottle right now, but have a kid who's batting over 400 sitting on your bench just to play a dude batting 067 or 095 because that's the position. No, hell no, dude. I'm figuring it out some way or another. I'm figuring out how to make this work where The best bats are in the lineup. I don't care about position at this point because, like you said, it's so early in the season. We're 21 games in. We're not making a playoff push right now. But when you're seeing how it's playing out, you have not been good. You're 2-7 on the road, right? You've blown a couple games now. You've had some injuries. You're 1 game out of first place. Okay,
I could be wrong about this, but I think I read that Gene Segura played center field in the minors.
really?
Yeah, I need to follow that up again. If anybody knows, if you want to type that in, but I'm gonna look it up later. But
So I said if they bring up Odubel, do you lead him off? I know he's led off
Yeah.
for the Phillies before. I probably would.
yeah, why not?
I probably definitely would, but
Listen,
that's
he
where
can't
we're
be
at, man.
worse than any of these other guys.
That's where we're at.
I'm more worried about McCutchen than center field, to be honest.
Really?
with you.
See, I'm not at all. I just
I
think
am, because
I just think
he looks washed.
Kutch has to get out of the leadoff spot.
His bat looks slow as hell. He's dropping balls in the outfield. He looks like he's 45 years old.
But now if it was Gene, Reese, Bryce, Bohm, JT, Didi, Kutch, Maton, pitcher, I could live with that. And then I would give Kutch a shot in the bottom of the order, see if he can kind of spice things up down there and get it going. If not, then you're right.
Takes the heat off him. I definitely think they need to move him down regardless.
I just hope your boy does it. I really just hope he decides that he needs to pull the trigger on that. But I think he knows. Like I hear Joe talk in some of the press conferences, and he gets like the post games, and he gets asked a question, and like he really wants to be like when they ask him about the move to the bullpen or why this person, you can just see like in his eyes and in his tone, it's like, what else do you want me to do? Like this is who I got. Like they need to be better.
Here comes Brandon Workman. Here comes David Phelps. It's like, what do you want me to do? I'm throwing everybody in there.
I'll tell you what's up next though, Mike, because now our Phillies get to start a 4-game road stand against the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe, tomorrow.
2 out of 3 from last week in Philly. But as we know, the Phillies are the worst team in the major leagues on the road over the last year.
Yep.
They're like the Sixers. Last year.
I don't know how they changed that. I don't know what the difference is. I really don't. I don't know the answer to it.
I don't have an answer. It's definitely not intimidating crowds.
Real quick, the one thing that I guess that irritates me the most is how bipolar this team is from a win to a loss, from offense to pitching. One game, Reese is hitting 2 bombs, Bryce is jacking a bomb, they're going off for 7, 8, 9 runs, 6 runs, and they win. And then they'll turn out the next night and they'll get shut out. Or the pitcher, or I don't know, the bullpen will hold it down for 3 games straight, and then they'll blow 3 leads in a row on the road. I can't take how bipolar it is when one night you're watching this team rake, the pitchers, but they still get a win. Then the next night you watch the pitchers give up 2 runs, but no one can hit. It's figure something out, man. I don't know if that's identity. I don't know if that's culture on the road. I don't know what it is, but they definitely need to figure it out.
We should keep this Sunday time. It's kind of fun. What do you think? You want to do that?
Yeah, I think it's easier too than trying to squeeze it in the middle of a week.
Yeah, after my work and your work, and yeah, this is good. What do you guys think? Let us know if you like the Sunday time, because this way we can talk about the week that was. So,
absolutely, and you got to figure a lot of Sundays are going to be day games.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, how about that? You guys just were part of a big programming discussion.
Yeah, there you go.
Programming live. This is good. Let's negotiate our salaries now.
Before we wrap up, though, I do have a video for everyone from our sponsors at XL Media and BetRivers. So real quick here.
Hey, what's up, guys? MLB baseball is in full swing. The NBA and NHL playoffs are right around the corner, and the NFL season is mere moments away. While we here at the Painted Lines are devoted to bringing you top-notch content from all the major sports, we are excited to also now give you the opportunity to cash in on all that content and knowledge. If you follow the link below, you will have the opportunity to sign up with BetRivers, an online sportsbook, and get an instant new user deposit match of up to $250. That's free money that you can use and try to turn into more free money. Let's go. Don't sit there and waste all that money. Turn every basket into an otherwise meaningless Cavs-Timberwolves matchup in on a random Wednesday in March. That makes it all the more exciting. For betting tips and advice, be sure to check out written content from our top prognosticator, Money Max, on our website at thepaintedlines.com, or check out the Tough Cover podcast right here on the Painted Lines YouTube channel. You've seen the commercials all over TV and radio, but now is the time. Sign up today with BetRivers using the link below and start cashing in on your love for sports. Using the link below will automatically inform BetRivers that TPL sent you, and you'll get that new user deposit match of up to $250. Don't miss out on this opportunity for some free money, baby.
All right, there you guys go. So Ty says,
Fired up, man. I think I want to bet on the Oscars right now. Is that possible?
love it. Great time for it. Is a good time for a show too, especially if we start promoting it better. And there were other I know we're not on Twitter on the Periscope right now because there were other TPL shows live when we started. So we're only on Facebook and YouTube at the moment. So we'll get all that figured out and get out to.
Yeah, this was fun, man. I feel very zen right now because we started this off with, me screaming and yelling, and I said this was going to be a therapy session, and quite frankly, I think we did the job. I think you, Dr. Dylan, cured me so that I can relax tonight. Thank you.
Also, are you out of a sling?
I'm out of the sling. Yes, look at that. So in physical therapy, and got another 3-4 weeks before I can be sort of normal. So looking
Before
forward.
You're throwing bullpen sessions.
I'm throwing the slider now, but I just can't get the curve to hook yet. No, I'm just kidding. I could barely open the door, but we're getting there.
All right, guys. For myself, you can follow me on Twitter at DylanJD98. And for Mike, you can follow him on Twitter at RealMikeSmall. Mike, how is the Killing Me Smalls podcast? And who do you have coming on next time? I know you just had Keith on. Who'd you have on last week?
We had a good, you know what? I'm going to encourage everybody to check this one out. This is one of my favorite podcasts. So Mike McCartney has been a friend of mine for 30 years. He was a graduate assistant football coach at the University of North Carolina when I was doing Mac Brown's TV show in 1992. And he eventually became the assistant general manager of the Eagles when they drafted Donovan McNabb.
Wow.
He was actually in my wedding. We're very good friends. And he's now an agent. He's the agent for Kirk Cousins, AJ Hawk, who's been on the Killing Me Smalls podcast, Josh McCown, all kinds of guys. And we talked about the difference between the draft as an agent and an executive. He looked back at the Eagles draft when they took Donovan McNabb. Did you know that if the Eagles didn't take Donovan McNabb, they were going to take Torrey Holt? A lot of people know that. Yeah, he told me that on the show. And also, we talked a lot about the Eagles draft and the trade they made. And I had to get some Miami Dolphins talk in there. So
there you go.
Definitely look that one up. It was a great podcast. And it looks like we're going to have Peter Schrager from the NFL Network.
Wow.
I'm pretty fired up about that.
That's a bomb, dude.
This is the Killing Me Smalls podcast, man. We're not messing around. Spitballing and Killing Me Smalls. We're here to play.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, pretty fired up.
Awesome. So, guys, please go check that out. You will not want to miss it.
Hey, guys, the Daily Dose, man. Turn off the freaking WIP. And you hear these knuckleheads calling for Ben Simmons to be traded every 5 minutes when you can hear Dylan and his boys break down the news of the day, 4:00 every day. That is a great podcast.
Thank you, man. So we will be back tomorrow at 4. And I've been staying away. I've been staying away from the team right here on my wall in green because I'm just utterly disgusted with the franchise. But I'll try to put on a brave face this week.
Jalen Hurts is a stud. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you sure?
My guy.
Yeah.
Roll Tide. Hey, Roll Tide, baby.
Yeah. I'm not so sure about that one, but hey, man, I hope so. So we'll see. And I don't know how Howie Roseman doesn't mess up pick number 12 or trade it down from 12 because God knows Howie Roseman needs more second round picks because he won't F those up too. So it'll be a lot of fun. If you guys want to see someone make themselves more angry and get louder and yell more throughout the course of a show, tune in every day at 4 because I will no doubt be pissing myself off talking about Howie Roseman and this Eagles franchise. The Sixers are on a losing streak. The Flyers suck. And we're going to have more Phillies talk for you. So,
Dylan, I'm going to get the doctor to call in some Prozac for you. You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
All right, guys. For myself, for Mike, go Phillies and have a nice week.